Hey everybody, welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. And what we have today is the Takayuki Sanpou Shitogami or white number 2 Kasumi Sujihiki 240mm knife. So that pretty much describes a lot of the characteristics of the knife. So it's a Sujihiki or a slicing knife. It's a double bevel version, not the traditional single bevel style, which would be a Yanagiba. The Kasumi finish is this kind of matte finish that they put on the sides, and it's really pretty. It's a nice kind of old school Kasumi finish to it. Looks really pretty and comes down to the cladding. Well, is the cladding, and then it comes down to the core steel right there. It is a Shitogami white number 2, which is super easy to sharpen, and it's got a soft iron cladding on either side of that. So it's 3-layer construction. It's all reactive blade, core, and cladding, but really pretty knife. Great craftsmanship on this. In terms of weight and dimensions, the weight on this particular one, and these can vary just a little bit, but the weight on this one's 171 grams or 6.1 ounces. Heat treat on that core steel is around 62, 63, so it's got there's a lot of decent edge retention, a little higher hardness, and almost nothing sharpens as easily as Shitogami steel. So you can bet this is going to be crazy easy to sharpen and will get wicked sharp if you do your part. The handle is just one big piece of wenge. It's octagonal. And it's just a nicely finished piece of wenge. It's got a little bit of polish to it and some finish on it. And they've done a good job of sealing that glue up there, that seal where the tang goes into the handle, so nicely done on that. Edge on this particular one is 243 millimeters, or about 9.56 inches. Overall length about 15 and a half inches, 15.4, 392 millimeters, depending on which handle they put on these. The spine thickness, these are a little bit thicker coming out of the handle, and then they thin out nicely and have a really pretty taper to the thickness of the spine. So I got about 3.3 at the back here of the heel, and then about 2.7, and then you can see it just kind of starts thinning down and gets pretty thin at the tip. Real pretty grind on this. And then here's the choil shot. Again, fairly thin at the tip. Real nice grind on these. Height at the back is about 38.8, so it's got a little height to it. There's enough room there for your fingers on a pinch grip, but if fingers aren't too big, to even have some cutting room board on the, some space on the cutting board if you want to use it for that. So this knife will do some double duty. Let's get our beauty shot here. Again, this is extremely well crafted knife. The grinds are real pretty on this, real clean, nice craftsmanship, fit and finish. So if you look, it's got some deeply embossed kanji and symbol on the right side of the blade. Here's your Kasumi finish. And then here's your core steel. And then here's the left side of the blade. Again, you got some deeply embossed kanji on the back part of that left side of the blade. And here's the rest of the blade. Does real nice fit and finish on this. They've polished the spine quite a bit, and they've rounded the edges of that very nicely, and they've also taken the time to work on the choil right here and round off the edges of that. So real pretty fit and finish. This one was really sharp out of the box. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 on my scale. Quite sharp. Again, fit and finish is very nice. It's fairly stiff, thin at the tip, thin at the edge. Let's see, balance point on this. The handle's fairly heavy, but the knife's got some muscle to it, so you can see that balance point's pretty close to a pinch grip. Might be a little behind it, but not a whole lot. So it's fairly neutral. Maybe just a touch handle heavy, but not too much. If you want to use this on the cutting board, here's what it will look like. A lot of people do use these for double duty, and so it's got actually a pretty nice flat spot towards the back. You can rock a little towards that heel, but it kind of flows in a fairly decent stop right there. And so you got a pretty good flat section back here, and then a little bit of belly towards the tip, so that'll let me get, on this one I can get way up here. The tip really doesn't want to dig in because there's a fairly aggressive belly right there in the last few millimeters of that tip. So this thing will get really high. So this thing will rock easy. Not a problem at all. And you got a nice flat spot back there. So this could easily do duty on for general purpose tasks, food prep, etc., plus your slicing duties. So this thing could be a multi-roll knife, which is always nice. Again, just almost an heirloom quality blade. You will notice there's a little bit of gap here on the neck into the handle. That's a stylistic decision, sometimes called Tokyo style, but that's kind of an older school way to put the handle on, where you see a little bit of the tang showing, and nothing wrong with that. It's just an aesthetic decision on their part, kind of a nod to the old school way of doing things. So just a beautiful knife, great craftsmanship, nice grinds, just a well executed piece of cutlery. So this is the Takayuki Sanpou Shitogami or White No. 2 Kasumi Sujihiki 240mm knife from Chef Knives to Go.